Good evening and welcome to the comprehensive news on Operation TV. I am Mary Agiobo. First, the headlines. President Tinubu rejects National Assembly Library Trust Fund Amendment Bill. Iranian missile strike kills 3 in Israel amidst fragile ceasefire hopes. 8 teams secure spots in FIFA Club World Cup round of 16. And now, the news in details. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has disapproved the National Assembly Library Trust Fund Amendment Bill 2025, citing serious legal and financial inconsistencies. In his letter to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, Tinubu states that the proposed amendments were well-meaning despite conflicting existing federal laws and policy frameworks. Among the key concerns raised were the bill's funding mechanism, taxation of federation entities, remuneration standards in the public service, and inconsistencies with age and tenure limits. Tinubu warned that signing such a bill could establish a problematic legal precedent that may undermine governance structure and fiscal prudence. He urges the National Assembly to rework the bill in line with constitutional provisions and financial discipline. However, the amendment seeks to broaden the scope of the National Assembly Library Trust Fund and introduce alternative sources of funding. With the President's rejection, the bill now returns to lawmakers who may opt to revise it or initiate an override process. The Zamfara state government has strongly denied reports that Governor Dawuda Lawal has taken a 34 billion naira loan under the guise of infrastructural development. Spokesperson of the administration, Suleiman Bala Idris, describes the report as a deliberate act of misinformation aimed at misleading the public. He explained that the financial provisions referred in the report were part of the 2023 budget passed under the previous administration led by Bello Matawale, now Minister of State for Defense. The statement challenged critics to produce official documents indicating that the current government has requested or received any new loans. Recall that Governor Lawal, during a recent media engagement, reaffirmed his commitment to transparency, internal revenue generation, and responsible fiscal management. However, there is an increasing public concern over debt, accountability in governance, and the financial legacy inherited by new administrations. The Kogi State Police Command has foiled a kidnap attempt along the busy Obajana-Oshoko Road Highway, a critical route linking the northern and southern parts of Nigeria, according to Police Public Relations Officer SP William Ovie Aya. The incident occurred on June 23rd when armed bandits ambushed 3 vehicles transporting passengers. The affected vehicles included a commercial bank J5 truck from Zaria to Ekiti and 2 Toyota Hiace buses traveling from Abuja to Lagos. Furthermore, police officers attached to the Obajana Division responded swiftly after gunshots were heard as fierce gun battle ensued, forcing the attackers to flee. According to reports, 1 person was confirmed dead, while 6 others sustained injuries and are currently receiving treatment. In a related operation, police operatives in Okene Division intercepted a suspicious Nissan vehicle. One of the passengers fled into a nearby forest, prompting a search that led to the discovery of a submachine gun, live ammunition, charms, and electronic devices. Investigations are still ongoing. Meanwhile, the Kogi State Police Command reaffirmed its commitment to securing the highways and ensuring the safety of travelers. Nigeria's top security leaders have raised alarm over the growing impact of hunger and poverty on national security, stating that the challenges have gone beyond humanitarian concerns to become critical threats to internal stability. Speaking at the 14th National Security Seminar organized by the Alumni Association of the National Defense College in Abuja, the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Bribadu, represented by Major General P.P. Mala, emphasized that rising poverty levels are fueling unrest, extremism, and social disintegration across the country. He knows that the federal government is tackling these issues through targeted agricultural reforms, increased social investment programs, and strategic security interventions. Similarly, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, represented by Rear Admiral Ibrahim Shetima, stated that economic deprivation, food inflation, and displacement of farming communities are accelerating insecurity and weakening national cohesion. It thereby called for urgent investment in rural agriculture, improved credit access for farmers, and revival of agribusiness as a dignified and profitable sector, while urging communities to support intelligence gathering and cooperate with security agencies to deny criminals safe havens. The Defense Headquarters has issued a strong clarification over alleged misinterpretation of remarks made by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, regarding the recent attacks in Benue State. The Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tuku Gusau, through a release, maintained the CDS did not blame the victims of the attacks. Gusau explained that the CDS merely highlighted the complexity of conflict zones and the importance of community vigilance and collaboration with security forces. He lamented the manner in which some advocacy groups and outlets twisted the narrative for political motives. According to the Defense Headquarters, General Musa consistently showed commitment to national unity and has advocated for inclusive security strategies that protect all Nigerians regardless of ethnicity or religion. The statement reiterated the military's continued efforts to uphold professionalism, integrity, and compassion in its operations. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has announced a robust media campaign to promote the safe use and handling of agricultural chemicals across Bauchi State. The state coordinator, Hamis Yahaya, says the initiative is timely, especially with the onset of the rainy season and increased farming activity. He knows that the campaign will focus on educating both sellers and users on how to identify, purchase, and apply only approved agrochemical products, adding that emphasis will be placed on the dangers of fake products and the environmental hazards posed by improper disposal of chemical containers. Yahaya further revealed NAFDAC's engagement with the Forum of Agrochemical and Pesticide Dealers to ensure that all products in the market are duly registered and meets national safety standards. Now we'll be going on a short break as I'll be handing over to Lydia Ajayi to bring us stories from the foreign scene, world of sports and entertainment. Stay tuned.
Blue Lagoon Hotels are home away from home with world-class hospitality, comfortable and affordable rooms, conference and meeting rooms for all occasions, open space and co-working area, 24-hour restaurant and bar, providing both local, international and continental cuisines, live music and entertainment on regular basis, constant power supply and watertight security in and around our premises. Blue Lagoon Hotels, situated at number 16 Tunji Adewoye Street, off Afurubin Road, Ijegun, Lagos State. And further inquiries, call 080-5668-7855 or 080-6527-3657. You can also visit us at www.bluelagoonhotels.ng. Blue Lagoon Hotels. Hospitality is our business.
Thank you, Mary. From the foreign scene, tensions remain high in the Middle East as 3 people lost their lives in Israel following a missile strike launched by Iran despite international efforts to break a ceasefire. According to Israeli Emergency Service, Magen David Adom, the missile struck southern Israel, claiming 3 lives and casting doubts over a ceasefire declaration announced earlier by former U.S. President Donald Trump. Iran's state broadcaster IRIB had reported renewed missile launches aimed at northern Israel. Meanwhile, Trump had claimed that both nations had reached a phased ceasefire deal under which Iran would halt hostilities first, followed by Israel within 12 hours. Trump further states that Iran had agreed not to escalate the situation if Israel ceased its illegal aggression by 4 a.m. Tehran time. However, officials in Tehran and Jerusalem have yet to confirm or publicly endorse the alleged agreement. This latest escalation follows Israeli preemptive strikes on June 13th, targeting Iranian military and nuclear infrastructure, a move that has heightened fears of a broader regional war. However, Trump warns against looming large-scale conflict unless both nations de-escalate tensions swiftly. Moving on, Qatar has resumed regular air operations after briefly closing its airspace in response to an Iranian missile strike that targeted the Al Udeid air base home to US and allied forces. The Qatari Civil Aviation Authority confirms the reopening, stating that air traffic had returned to normal following a short suspension for safety assessment. The temporary airspace closure came amid growing instability in the Gulf as fallout from the Iran-Israel conflict raises concern about wider military confrontations in the region. From the world of sports, the 2025 FIFA World Cup has reached a critical stage, with 8 clubs advancing to the round of 16 after the conclusion of group stage matches. Among the qualifiers are French giant Paris Saint-Germain and Brazilian side Botafogo. PSG secured their passage with a 2-0 victory over MLS champion Seattle Sounders, while Botafogo processed on goal difference despite losing narrowly to Atletico Madrid. Atletico's elimination marks one of the tournament's surprises, highlighting the competitiveness of the newly expanded 32-team format. The round of 16 will run from June 28th to July 1st, followed by the quarterfinals on July 4th and 5th. The semi-finals are scheduled for July 8th and 9th, and the grand finale will take place on July 13th at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, USA. Fans can expect thrilling encounters as some of the world's best football clubs battle for global supremacy. In another development, despite a difficult qualification campaign, Super Eagles goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali says he remains hopeful Nigerian can secure a spot at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Nigerian currently sits 4th in Group C with 7 points from 6 matches, trailing group leader South Africa by 6 points. The Eagles' qualification journey began with back-to-back draws against Lesotho and Zimbabwe, and recent matches have seen further struggles, including a draw with South Africa and a loss to Benin Republic. The team's inconsistent form has prompted managerial changes, with both Jose Peseiro and Finidi George each managing 2 of the 6 fixtures so far. Still, Nwabali remains optimistic, urging Nigerians to keep faith in the team. He stressed the importance of consistency, focus, and support from fans as the qualifiers continue. In entertainment, Kannywood and Nollywood actress Rahama Sadau is grieving the loss of her father, Ibrahim Sadau, who passed away on Saturday, June 22nd. The 31-year-old actress announced the news via her social media pages, asking fans and friends for prayers. The post drew an outpouring of sympathy and condolences from fans and colleagues alike, including many prominent figures in the Nigerian entertainment industry. Rahama Sadau is one of the leading stars in the northern film industry, known for her roles in both Hausa language and mainstream Nollywood productions. Many have described her strength and resilience as admirable, even as she deals with personal loss. Moving on, popular Nollywood actress Bukola Adekoge, widely known as Aminatu Papa, has expressed regret over her support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu during the 2023 general elections. In a candid interview, the actress reveals that her support for the president was based on his achievements as former Lagos State governor. However, she now believes that her political endorsement was misplaced, citing widespread hardship and unmet expectations. Aminatu joins a growing number of celebrities who have publicly criticized the administration over its handling of economic and governance issues. Her remarks have sparked fresh debates on the role of public figures in political campaigns and accountability in leadership. And that is all on the foreign, sports and entertainment updates. Please join Mary for the business segment. I am Lydia Ajayi. Over to you, Mary.
Blue Lagoon Hotels, a home away from home with world-class hospitality. Comfortable and affordable rooms, conference and meeting rooms for all occasions, open space and co-working area, 24-hour restaurant and bar, providing both local, international and continental cuisines, live music and entertainment on regular basis, constant power supply and watertight security in and around our premises. Blue Lagoon Hotels, situated at number 16 Tunji Adewoye Street, off Afurubin Road, Ijegun, Lagos State. And for the inquiries, call 080-5668-7855 or 080-6527-3657. You can also visit us at www.bluelagoonhotels.ng. Blue Lagoon Hotels. KG5F Security Services. We are dependable, reliable, proficient, and gallant always. KG5F Security Services, officially licensed by the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Our services include general office security, personal security, asset protection, protocol services, physical security, aviation security, loss prevention, escort protection, security patrols, and access control. We are available 24/7. KG5F Security Services also provide installation of security gadgets such as CCTV camera, alarms, special communication equipment, and so on. Gallant security personnel are needed nationwide with attractive working benefits. Contact KG5F Head Office at 45 Prince Adeyemi Street off Governors Road, Ikotun, Lagos, or our branch office 25 Yaya Baton Road, adjacent Nationwide Petrol Station, Ogba, Lagos. Call 09161514318 for inquiries. KG5F Security Services, to serve and protect.
That was fantastic, Lydia. Now to the world of business. The cost of petrol has climbed to a new high of 955 naira per litre across parts of Nigeria, as fresh adjustments by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and independent marketers take effect. NNPCL operated filling stations in Abuja has revised their pump prices to 945 naira per litre, while some outlets in Lagos hiked rates to 915 naira, marking an increase of up to 45 naira compared to previous prices. However, independent marketers and several stations in the capital now sell petrol between 950 naira and 955 naira per litre, up from last week's 895 naira. Meanwhile, pump prices at independent outlets in Lagos ranges from 915 naira to 950 naira, depending on location and supplier. Major distributors like MRS, Hayden and AP, affiliates of the Dangote Group in Ogun State, has therefore adjusted prices between 925 naira and 935 naira per litre, leaving the southwest in the ripple effect in Ogun State. Industry stakeholders attribute the upward review to the Dangote Petroleum Refinery's recent increase in ex-depot price from 825 naira to 880 naira per litre. Though many marketers procured the last stock at a former rate, they said the volatility and uncertainty in the downstream sector have made it difficult to maintain previous pricing. At key NNPC stations in Abuja, including outlets in Kubwa and along Obasanjo Way, the updated pump prices were clearly displayed, signaling what could be the start of a new nationwide pricing trend. The development raises fresh concerns about inflation and transport costs as stakeholders and citizens alike brace for potential economic ripple effects. In a significant boost to Nigeria's manufacturing sector, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has officially commissioned the country's largest safety footwear production facility. The factory, developed by Yikodin Company Limited, spans 120,000 square feet and boasts a production capacity of 5,000 safety boots daily, a remarkable increase from its humble beginnings of 20 pairs per day in 2016. The commissioning ceremony attracts key figures from government, industry and traditional institutions. Among the distinguished guests were the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, the Olu of Warri, Ogiame Osuwase III, and the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Felix Ogbe. Speaking at the event, Yikodin's CEO, Atunde Olayinka, describes the project as a strategic investment in local content and job creation. He notes that the factory will meet the growing demand for a high-quality protective footwear across sectors such as construction, oil and gas, and manufacturing. Chairman of the board, Ajibola Akindele, also highlights the company's long-term vision of positioning Nigeria as a regional hub for safety gear production and exports. However, Governor Sanwo-Olu praised the project as a model of private sector innovation and industrial development, expressing the state government's continued commitment to supporting homegrown manufacturing initiatives. The factory is expected to create hundreds of direct and indirect jobs, reduce Nigeria's dependence on imported safety gear, and drive greater inclusion of locally made products in procurement contracts across key industries. And that wraps up the comprehensive news at 5 p.m. on Opportune TV. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying with us. Please subscribe to all our social media platforms. I am Mary Agiobo. Have a good evening.